In 2 weeks, I put almost 50 miles on the TeamGee's H20 Mini Electric Skateboard. I then had two of the biggest skateboarders that I know of take it for a spin and then ask them what they thought of it.
The first thing I noticed is the insane acceleration.
That is due to the 450 watt double drive brushless hub motors in each one of the wheels, powered by a 36 volt lithium battery.
Now the second thing I noticed is how confident I actually feel on it. It almost feels like it has built-in stabilization. I know it doesn't, but it feels like it does.
Now it does have high elasticity PU wheels and shock absorbers, which makes for a smooth ride.
I'm pretty impressed with how this handles rocks and gravel. There's been a few times that I've hit some gravel patches. Makes me a little nervous, but the board handles it a lot better than I thought it would.
I was really enjoying the smoothness of the newly paved road and trail by my house until I reached some chip seal down the road, where things changed.
Now riding around on a trail like this, which is very smooth, I could ride for hours. Now chip seal, which is what I'm on right now, this is a different story. Your feet get pretty numb and you don't have to go that long. The other day I rode 2 miles straight on this stuff and I had to stop about a mile into it. It does put your feet to sleep.
I thought it would be valuable to get the opinion of a couple of guys who have been skating most of their lives. In fact, one of them is so involved in the lifestyle that he's decorated his house from old boards. They played around with the H20 and had this to say.
And I'm thinking it's super cool. It's definitely quick. It's not too bad on comfortability. I felt like I had good control over it. It's super smooth. You wouldn't even know that you got a big old battery under there if you were riding it. Most skateboarders, when they're riding, they'll have their foot placed back here over the truck. And you'll find that your toes and your heel are gonna come over this cut, which makes it a little sketchier to kind of get control on the back foot. But I found if you just choke it up a little bit, it seems to gain the control a lot better.
Oh, I just think it's a little flat. If you notice the two together, the tail's bigger, there's a nose, and these work in skateboarding to hold you on, and the concave in it helps you turn more. I think if this was just a little more concaved and the tail kicked up a little bit, you'd have a lot more control.
So we converted you to the electric?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm 42, dude. I'll be on the electric in no time.
He's winded, I'm unscathed.
The H20 has 4 speeds, with the top speed reaching 24 miles per hour, which I had my nephew demonstrate here. The speed can be changed by pressing the B button. The screen will then display what speed you're on. I then asked my nephew to test the brakes for all 4 speeds, which pretty much stopped at the same point.
So the first couple days I rode this, it sounded nice and smooth. Week 2, that kind of changed. It's a very rapid ticking noise. It hasn't affected the ride at all. I've got almost 50 miles on this and it still feels right out of the box, except for that noise.
Now I know it's almost 50 miles because it's displayed on the screen, just in kilometers, but here's what I noticed after that long.
The top of the board is holding up pretty good. Just a few scuffs here and there. There is a pretty big dent in the wheel. And then both of these back wheels have little tiny cuts in them. There's a small one right there. The biggest kind of tear is on the left rear wheel. And there looks like a little tiny rock is actually jammed up in there. Underneath on the tail end, it's got some scratches. The charging cap stays on really well. So 50 miles, and other than the noise it makes now, it still runs as smooth as it did on day 1. The remote feels pretty cheap. I can tell it's made from pretty inexpensive plastic.
But it does work very well. The remote can be turned on by holding the power button for a couple of seconds. The wheel is positioned in a way that feels natural and was easy for my thumb to control. The screen displays the battery life for both board and remote, with 18 miles per charge, and a 3 to 4 hour recharge for the board and 1 hour for the remote. There isn't an app, so you are stuck with kilometers. There's no way to change it.
A nice feature I like is if you walk away from the board, you get about 5 or 6 feet and the remote starts to vibrate and continues to vibrate, letting you know you need to shut off the power.
The H20 is rated for hills from 10 to 20% depending on weight. Now I'm 180 pounds, and this is about a 10% grade hill. So this is at the top of the hill, and it took me just a couple minutes to get up here. The board slowed down a little bit during the steepest part of the hill, but it was averaging about 5-6 miles per hour. Now I didn't get any video of me coming down the hill, but I was riding the brake and I could actually stop anywhere I wanted to on the hill. The H20 has an IP54 waterproof rating, which I did test out quite a bit. Mother Nature decided to rain for a couple days, so it got plenty wet. I found the wheels were quite slippery when wet and slid out when I turned or hit the brakes hard. Overall, I was impressed with the look of the H20. The 11mm wide, 10-layer Canadian maple board just looks good. I loved the wood strip down the middle separating the grip tape. I thought it was a tad heavy at just over 16 pounds, but I felt it made it more stable. The high-strength aluminum magnesium alloy frame is built to carry up to 220 pounds. The truck can be adjusted to your specification. They have supplied a tool to do so. But the best part of the board is the warranty it comes with. 6 months for battery and bridge, 1 year for motor and electronics, and 1 month for tires and board surface. Other than the noise it made after a couple weeks, I had no other issues with the H20. If you're looking for a high-powered and smooth electric skateboard, the H20 is a good option. Now guys, if you do want to pick this up, I've got the link in the description. I've also partnered with a company called Lustry, who has created a free tool that compares other brands. So if you want more info before you buy, you should definitely check it out. If you also want their recommendations or product analysis right where you shop, like on Amazon or Google, install their extension. The link is in the description. So thanks for watching, be sure to subscribe, and enjoy your day.